Good evening and welcome to the Pelham. Good evening and welcome to the public hearing town special warrant articles. Today is January 22nd, 2024. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
1920.
And right into it, since these were not read at the last meeting, make sure we get these read. They were all supported and voted 10-0-0 by the committee. And the first article was the highway block grant. And that is, shall the town vote to raise and appropriate the sum of $345,000 for repair, maintenance, purchase of equipment, and upgrading of town roads to be offset by anticipating highway block grant funds. This special article will be non-lapsing, to be a non-lapsing appropriation per RSA 32:7, Roman numeral 4, no money to be raised by taxation, and it is recommended by the Budget Committee 10-0-0. Any comment on that? Hearing none. Public Works, Article 5, Public Works and Municipal Employees, CBA. Shall the town vote to approve cost items included in the 5-year collective bargaining agreement ratified by the Board of Selectmen and the Pelham Public Works and Municipal Employees, Local 1801 of the American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees, which calls for the following increase in salaries and benefits, and to further raise and appropriate the sum of $142,713 to fund this year of the agreement, such sum representing the additional cost attributable to the increase in salaries and benefits required by the new agreement over those that would be paid at current staffing levels. It's recommended by the Budget Committee 10-0-0, and the year cost, accumulated cost in all from 2020, accumulated cost to 2028 is $554,860. And that's including 3 months of 2029. In the first year, it's $142,713. In 2025, $122,644. In 2026, it's $98,605. 2027, it's $90,784. And in 2028, it's $100,114, which again is including the 3 months of 2029. Any public comment on that article? Hearing none. Article 8, Congestion Mitigation Air Quality Reappropriation. Shall the town vote to raise and appropriate the sum of $3,460,000 to construct 2 roundabouts at the intersection of Sherburne Road and Mammoth Road and Marsh Road? Said appropriation will be offset by a Congestion Mitigation Air Quality Program grant in the amount of $2,680,000, and also to be offset with exaction fees to deposit of $110,000, and to authorize the selectmen to expend the remainder of the $670,000 from the unassigned fund balance. No money shall be raised by taxation. This special article will be non-lapsing appropriation per RSA 32:7, recommended by the selectmen and by the Budget Committee at 10-0-0 vote. Is there any public comment on that article? Hearing none. No public comment. And the review of the meeting minutes from January 11th, I had one change on page 11, line 533, changing the 50,000 to 51,000. Are there any other changes? Hearing none.
Make a motion that we approve the January 11th minutes here and
As
put them on
amended.
file, right, as amended.
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor of approving the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Any abstain? Thank you.
Right.
6,
We
7,
just,
0.
also just for the record, so we can put on record the everybody that's here.
Yes,
All
I
right,
will do the
there's
attendance,
sufficient
yes.
one in attendance,
Yep.
right.
So Mr. Abear is absent. I am present. Ellen Cormier is absent. Paul Grant is excused. Phil Haberlin is here. Deb Ryan is here. Bob Sherman is here. Mr. Silva is here. Mr. Smith is here. Mr. Croto, and Mr. Wilkerson is here. Okay.
Meg? Meg?
And yes,
I don't think I heard you close the public hearing.
I'm
Did you-
sorry.
Did you close it? I don't know if you opened it either.
I said, wait, I said,
You did open
Yeah,
it.
it's open.
I'm sorry, but I just didn't hear you close it.
and now we will
You
close
need to.
public hearing.
Thank you.
Thank you. Cross it off the to-do list.
Exactly.
And future business, deliberative sessions on February 6th and 7th, and we will have a budget meeting directly following the 6th and 7th meetings if there's a change that needs to be voted on the warrant articles. Okay.
And also, town signups for town positions open this Wednesday, January 24th, and close on Friday, February the 2nd. I think it's at 5 o'clock, at 5.
Okay.
And there are 4
Yep.
openings in the Budget Committee. I believe 1 for 1
Right.
year and 3 for 3 years.
Correct.
Right, so, motion to adjourn?
Second.
Oh, Dave?
Mr.
sorry.
Silva?
Just, I got to make a quick
Yeah.
statement. I was watching the meeting from a very cold place. I just want to make a clarification on something that it said, I'm the one who sent that letter that you didn't read. I did not rescind the letter. I wanted it to be read as I had written it. But I believe everybody here on the committee got a copy of it, so they all know what it was. So I'm not going to, request that you read it, but I just want everybody to understand I did not rescind to read that letter. And as far as I'm concerned, the whole issue is over. And politics is politics, but
But in your prior, I just want to make sure clear that in the prior email, you'd asked that if I was not willing to read the entire letter,
I
that
would
you
read
didn't,
it.
you didn't want me to read it, correct?
no, I said if you couldn't read it
Right.
as written, then I would read it. That's what I
Right.
said. And unfortunately, I couldn't make the meeting, so, and in lieu of everybody here seeing what it was, and the main person who brought the issue up also saw it, I'm satisfied.
All right, thank you,
That's it.
Yeah.
thank you.
So
Motion.
now
Is there a
my
second?
motion to
Second.
adjourn.
I
Second.
second the
Yeah.
motion to
All
adjourn.
those in favor of adjourning, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much.
on everything the committee voted on before to say, hey, we're really gonna, draw a line in the sand and say, we're gonna try to, because remember, that was in lieu of an actual budget freeze that was otherwise on the table. So, like I said, bad choice A, bad choice B. Bad choice A, we go back to the selectmen's budget and work off of that. If that has advantages, make sure that we don't lose any loose ends, and we can go back and make sure that we can now be making changes based on that baseline number. I don't know if you guys are following me, but work with me. The other option is to stick with that budget that was passed November 16th, where there could be some additional landmines that we don't know what are in there, and then we get to deal with that. So I'm not sure if that was a question or more of a statement, trying to at least articulate my thought process associated with
Right,
this.
because if we go with what was approved on the 16th, just with how the columns are set out by the
Yep.
default numbers, there are places in there where, say there's health services. Well, the department request and the selectmen approve is $45,800, but the default number is $73,700. So it doesn't give an accurate reflection of those budget categories, like those departments,
Yep.
right? So we'd have to go back to the selectmen's number, right, and be specific. I'm not trying not to get back to the number that was, we just have to show how you got there,
But-
for right now.
But I also want to acknowledge, are we supposed to use last names, or can we?
I go between.
Okay.
You can go.
Garrett, I want to know Garrett's point, which is, Mr. Hebert, that last year, Mr. Hebert proposed cuts, small, minor cuts, and they largely got vaporized. So,
And this is, I feel like this is just for purposes of getting down to the number.
So,
And then we would hand it over, because then they would know
so
where the cuts came from.
I'm willing to support that 100%, but what I'm telling everybody from the town, and I encourage everybody to go back and watch the video, small cuts were vaporized. $20, $100, $50 into thin air. So,
You're part of a board. We make decisions together. We do not make them individually.
no, I agree with that, but I'm just saying, like, everybody does remember, last year, like, I tried to make very conservative $100 cuts, and it was like, nah, we're not doing that.
So, if I may,
Mr. Croto.
you did try to make cuts, but you didn't have the support of the board at that time. However, this is now your second year on budget. You've learned how the process works. We all learn, I learn every day. You know now next year the responsible way to present a budget is, in my opinion, is when the
Which I tried to do.
If you watch the Board of Selectmen, how we did our budget this year, as department heads were up there, we spoke back and forth, had conversation, and I guess I'll pick on Chief Perillo again. Her and I had a conversation about one of her line items, and we came to an agreement on it. But we went line by line by line. So last year when you did it, I think you,
$100.
yeah, but Garrett, we're not going to get into the weeds of it all.
I agree with you 100%, and I'm not trying to get into the weeds, but I'm saying next year I will come back to the table and go back to proposing like $100 and, that sort of thing, and I understand what you're saying.
You can say, I would like to cut 10,000 and here's where it is.
Right.
That is my motion on the floor. For what our purposes are here, as our duty, we have to tell people where these cuts came from. So we're just going back. I need you to go backwards and tell me where those cuts are.
From now on, I will do that just like I did the first year, but I'm just saying I did try to do that last year, and it just immediately got vaporized.
I think
Mr.
next year
Croto.
you're going to be really great at it.
Okay, all right, well, we'll see.
can I suggest,
Yes.
well,
Sorry about my last.
Trying to,
Just a reminder, we do have a motion on the
There is a
floor,
motion.
and there's a lot of discussion that's going to ensue after, so.
yeah.
I was going to suggest we vote, unless anyone else has any comments.
So the motion is to go back to the 20, so the number with the insurance is, what is that number?
Stand by. So the number with the
Or
insurance.
do you want it with just the BOS?
Well, it's probably easier for Brian to just copy the BOS column over.
Yeah, we'll just do the BOS and then add the insurance.
Take the
Yep,
cuts
okay. So
after
the
that.
BOS number of $22,003,547 with the purposes of,
My
Just
motion-
to
my
go
motion
back
was
to
bring it back to that and then
$22,003,547.
Have the conversation.
$547. All right.
I don't know. The passage.
Motion to restore. Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Mr. Haberlin?
Yes.
Mr. Grant?
No.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Ryan?
Yes.
Mr. Aber?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkerson?
Yes.
Mr. Croto?
Yes.
That was out, so it was out, and I am a yes. 8-1, motion passes to restore it to $22,003,547. And now to, with the specific cuts, to get back to, correct, the $21,632,408.
Yes. Do you think it's appropriate for the chair to read her original motion, or not her motion, but her proposed cuts back into the record, or?
I can do that. Yeah,
I
so
would
then we
recommend
don't-
item
Yes.
by item,
I'm sorry.
rather than as a group, your previously proposed cuts,
Yep.
item, vote, vote.
Individual votes on each
Because there
item.
may be people that don't agree with cuts within the group. So I would keep this simple and itemize it singularly. Just a suggestion to the chair, with all due respect.
Thank you, sir. Okay, do I need a motion on that?
What?
Well, we'll do each one, so,
Can I ask you a question?
yes, please.
I just want to double check. I'm in the master budget sheet now. Is this getting updated in real time?
It's going to take a bit.
It's
Just
gonna take a-
copy over all, but yeah.
No problem. I just wanted to make sure I was
He's,
looking at the right place. Thank you very
He's
much.
faster than me, way faster than me. He's-
Thank
he's
you.
doing it.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
you mentioned at the beginning of the meeting, are you going to allow department heads to come up
Yeah.
and have the conversation when we vote on their budget?
Can we get through all the cuts first to see where we are?
Yeah, I just wanted to be clear where we stand as a committee.
I'm sorry.
I think, Bob, you made a point to make sure that the department heads could at least appear.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
That's the 332.
So you want me to go down the list of and we do them one at a time? So the first department in alphabetical order was the assessor.
Yep,
And you proposed a cut of $3,000
yep.
in that department's budget.
All right. All those in favor?
No,
do you-
well,
what do you wanna do?
it needs a second if we're going to go through this.
Second.
Second, okay,
Second.
for discussion. So I think the department head should be given an opportunity to come up and talk about how a $3,000 cut might affect her budget.
I,
I believe that's chairman's discretion on that.
Yeah, that's also true.
so we did allow, I don't know, and I don't know if all town heads were here that night on November 16th to say anything about that. Would the assessor like to speak to the $3,000 cut? That was a good question.
Sorry.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Susan Snide, Assessing Department. The $3,000, if I understand correctly, is for the overtime? Yeah. I'm going to throw a complete monkey wrench into this, and I just found out today that it will make no material difference if you cut that out of my budget.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
All right. And we'll take a vote on that,
Yep.
and I think I have to do everyone by roll call. Mr. Sherman, are you in favor of that cut?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Haberlin?
Yes.
Mr. Grant?
Yes.
next is the cemetery, $59.
So that had to do with, I just want to make that clear.
I have a different number.
Yep, that's a different number. Okay, so that you said 41,600.
It's $659.
So that's including 500 from the new position, let's see, cut the caretaker position, a cut to the recording clerk, and a cut of 500 from the new position that wouldn't be added. Cut the overtime by $2, 100, and fund it at 50 units, and base the secretarial pay at $18.50 an hour. It would be a total cut from the cemetery of $41,659. 659. Does cemetery want to come up about that cut?
Do we need a second for discussion?
Second.
Second. Anybody want to come up from cemetery about that cut? I don't think so. Hello, Ms. Wood.
Hello, I'm Lisa Wood. I'm the chair of the board. Is this on?
Is the green light on?
Is there green? Try now.
We got nothing. Okay, so we had a meeting this morning, a board meeting, and the board agreed to eliminate or hold off the full-time position for 2024. So what we were proposing for the full-timer, we've made a motion, we're gonna hold off on that. Our main expense is trying to get the allotment for the $40,000 for the development of the columbarium. We bought the units, we used it out of our trust fund money, and we have the units, and now we're at the point we need to develop it. And that expense was to no cost of the townspeople at all, because it was the percentage that came back from our lot sales that went into the trust fund.
Oh, for buying the columbarium.
Correct. So this $40,000 we're looking for is a one-time expense just this year, and that's all we're looking for.
All right.
Point of order.
Yes, Ms. Ryan.
I just need to ask a question, and I just want to make sure I'm understanding this correctly. We're working on new information and we're changing things now. We were presented with a budget and this is what it was, and now we're altering it based on new information. And typically at reconsideration, that would have been done after this fact. Usually most people don't come up and say, I'd like to eliminate that. But because of this delay in the way that we didn't line item this stuff to begin with on November 16th, now it's opened up a can of worms that people are aware of. Oh, well, I might as well cut that because I don't want to lose this. So I think we can't alter the budgets that were presented.
Yeah, but I think we we talked about that for 30 minutes, and that's what we agreed we were going to do.
Mm-hmm. No, this is a different scenario. They're
was
altering the
proposed,
budgets that
though.
were proposed.
Yeah, we had proposed this in the fall, but as far as eliminating the full-time, we're just trying to save money.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Right.
The budget that was proposed in the fall was this, and now we're at this. It's a different budget.
Right.
So, and that may be perfectly legal. I just needed to ask the question. Okay, I just want to make sure, because this is very unusual circumstances here, and I just wanted to make sure we're not breaking any rules by making new budgets here on the fly.
It's completely backwards.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Are we-
Mr. Cordo?
Are we proposing the columbarium cut here?
That's not what I heard.
I don't see it on here, so
I
that's...
didn't, so that's not on this list right now?
Right, so in our motion, what Mrs. Wood just spoke of, we're not even talking about the columbarium.
Right.
Right, we're just eliminating the request for full-time employee, even though she does need it. Not this year, but she does need.
Just trying to save money.
That way out.
Mr. Smith?
Question, I understand the columbarium was purchased out of trustee money,
Trust fund.
but it sounds like it was purchased without the money allocated for the site work and everything?
No, when we sell a lot, it's the 60/40 percentage, and the money that goes into the trust fund accumulates, and that's what we use the purchasing for.
Yeah, but the columbarium's kind of like, that's a separate discussion, right? I mean, we're just talking about a position, we're not talking about
Right.
the columbarium.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're voting and discussing the columbarium. I mean, the position.
Yes.
Just the caretaker position, the new caretaker position. Right.
Can we,
Well, there's other things.
okay.
So when does the discussion happen about the funding for the columbarium? Because like I said, it's just a one-time thing for 2024?
So that's not part of our motion, so
Yeah.
that may not come up in discussion.
Right.
However, thank you for bringing it to our attention. So that's not in the cut that we're proposing now, and I'm sorry to speak over you.
No. I feel like this whole process is backwards, honestly. I would have just proposed, like, do we accept these cuts as where we are? Then we work from there to get we give the line items where they're cut from. Does everyone agree to those line items, those cuts? I tell them what they are, so people are informed what they are, not line by line. So at least we have the cuts line by line, but we are informed of that. Then to get down back to the number of $21,630,879, then we'd have to have more cuts.
Right.
So do we really have to go line by line, or can I just say what they are line by line?
I think we just vote on your proposed cuts, I think that's fair.
Is that, because it's still informing.
I mean, we don't need
Yeah.
to,
With the other understanding, if indeed we approve your cuts, we could go back to any of these departments and seek to
Oh, have it.
add money?
Well, then we finally get to reconsideration.
Okay.
Then we finally get there.
All right.
Right.
Yes, you want-
Yes, so then I
go
can
that
have
way.
people come up and, okay, so we're still starting at the selectmen's number, but if I can just read off the list and we'll take a vote on that. we
Well,
can-
no, we got to get this one settled
Okay.
first,
So you want I'll go back to it.
to eliminate the full-time position.
Okay, for the $34,835, and that's only part of that doesn't take into consideration a whole bunch of other parts of it, but I will read
Right.
those off. Okay? Mr. Cotto, go ahead.
I understood that the motion was for $41,659.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Dollars. That was combined.
Yeah,
Can I take the motion off the table I will go by the list that Ms. Penny has broken down on column J, just for purposes of this.
I'm a little different
discussion.
than you. I have 43,515, so I may have misinterpreted what you're intending to cut for cemetery. So I want to take a look at that list. I know we're in agreement for the caretaker position, for the $500 for the uniform.
Yep. All right, I'm going to go by the list in the minutes, and it's the same.
Perfect.
Is that agreeable to everyone? So I'm going to take off the table the motion right now and I'm just going to read off what I have. So if the motion on the floor to vote on these cuts
those
as I'm about to read. So we already did the clerical. So it'd be $41,659 from cemetery. Conservation, a cut of $300.
wait a minute, shouldn't we finish the cemetery and then you'll take all the rest of them as a group?
Let me just see up
Yeah.
motion.
I withdrew it.
All right, and so therefore I withdraw my motion given the cemetery.
Okay.
You need the second to withdraw theirs.
Second.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Let's get things,
Conservation, a cut of $300. Fire department is a cut of $68,976, and that was to take away one of the two that were asking for paramedic schooling and the expenses that went with that, and also $10,000 cut from callbacks. Highway maintenance was a cut of $19,300 based on the new lower salt price. Insurance was a cut due to the cemetery caretaker position being eliminated of $21,558. Library was a cut of $5,000 in salary. Parks and Rec, a cut due to, there was a retirement, so a cut of $13,500. In retirement, a decrease to cut $4,713. Senior Center, there was a staffing change, a decrease, a cut of $10,000. Technology, a cut of $60,840. That was if we cut the new website and the cost that comes with hosting that website. Town buildings, be a cut of $73,829 to cut the police department carpets, the AC in the training room, and the electrical gates that were asked for at the highway department. So the total with that, also the first motion with the assessor, gets us to the $332,675.
Second.
Second the motion? Okay. I didn't bring enough sheets of paper with names on them, guys, for all these motions. So bear with me. Okay, motion was second, so the motion would cut the 300, to show the line item cuts in the budget that were just mentioned of $332,675. If you're in favor, Mr. Sherman? Yes.
Just want to
Yes.
clarify something. So for the fire department, I heard
Yes.
two numbers. I heard
Yes.
68976,
Yep,
and I also heard 10,000. So
Yes.
it's two separate line items.
It is.
So the total for the fire department would then be 78,976, correct?
for the total, 78,976, yes.
For fire department,
Yep.
okay.
And let me just go back to my sheet.
Yeah, I just want to make sure someone's looking at this with the spreadsheet, because the document I'm looking at is just a document.
Yep. Okay. And vote, Mr. Sherman?
Yes, with the understanding that I can make further additions in some departments that might have been cut.
With the understanding that reconsideration will be
That's right.
opened.
Yeah.
Yes. Mr. Haberlin?
Yes.
Mr. Grant?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Ryan?
Yes.
Mr. Hebert?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkerson?
Yes.
Mr. Proto?
Yes.
And myself, yes. So we have 900 passes. Okay.
Meg, I'm sorry to be pedantic here, and you've somebody's got a spreadsheet open, and they've double-checked that column numbers added up to 332,765?
332,675, that's what my original,
I'm
Yes,
trying to check that now.
yes.
Okay.
So,
with the assessor and the seventh.
The reason I ask is
yeah, I'm looking at the fire.
the,
Did I say with that? Yes. What was the question?
the number that you quoted for insurance was 22558, but in your
No,
memo,
did I? I'm sorry.
21,558.
21,558.
okay.
That's what it was.
Okay. All right, the number in your memo from November 16th was different. I mean, it's only...
Yes, that was
That's right.
changed in the meeting minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, we're good.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to make sure we're not going to
Nope.
leave something hanging. Thank you.
No. Yep, that was clarified in the beginning.
Good.
Yep. Okay. Now that we have, Ms. Penny, go
What's your
ahead.
total, what do you think your total is? 332, did you say 675?
Yes.
I got 332,705. I'm just going to adjust the caretaker wages, because I had to plug that, because I had a different
Okay.
number than you anyways.
Yeah.
30. Brian's still copying, and then I'm going to share with him the list I have.
Great.
You did. So go to assessing. Near the top, 3,000 for the additional coverage, so we can come out of this line. I don't know if you don't know where it is. It was in salaries. Oh, no, it's payroll too.
Okay.
24, 6480, 6480, 6480, yep. Take it from the 6480. So there's one. Next, go to, next, 3,000. Next, cemetery. Go to salaries. It's in a different color, that cemetery caretaker row, right here.
Yep.
Get rid of the 34,835. We'll skip that one. And then recording clerk, take 792 away, which is office administrator right here. Oh, no, recording secretary. They're taking away that 792. Overtime reduction reduced by 2,100. Take 2,100 off that. And then I have some things I can't identify. Just take 3402, just take another line for office admin. We can allocate better.
Okay. What do you do?
Down here. Yeah, take that off. 3,402, take that. One more cemetery change. It's down below in the spreadsheet. I think it's in a different color on purpose to deal with. There it is. Take that 500 out. Yeah. Next, we're going to fire department.
Does anyone need a short recess while they work through those numbers? Everybody's good?
I prefer we just keep going
Yeah, yeah,
and take
I
a
would.
break at the, unless,
Yep. Right, we're just, so while they figure, we'll wait, I guess, till they get those to square away. So we need another $136,253 cut to get to the number that was the original cut. And then we can open to
We want to
reconsider.
go to
Well,
that number.
well, I think that was the purpose. That it was to, but then we open up to reconsideration.
Meg,
Right.
Okay.
Meg.
Yes.
Can you assist in identifying where you found the 68,976 for paramedic? We're having trouble locating that quickly. It was more than one line, I believe.
It is, yeah.
It's part of it.
It's part of the school trip.
I think that's for, well, let's wait, hear what she says.
Now, if I had written down the actual lines at one point.
Might be in the vicinity of
It's
476.
103. Or 103 here, paramedic school overtime, student. Line
Yeah,
103.
that was probably one of them, yeah.
paramedic school backfill.
Well, that's for 2. I think she took off 1, so I don't know.
I took off 1,
Split 'em.
right, so divide the,
Yeah, I got it. So 33,656 would be half of that if that's what was part of the equation. Yeah, but we have to get to 68, so I think if you go down, yeah. Actually, I don't know, I really don't know what you took it from. There's a variety of places. Let's let her tell us. Could have been here.
I have those. It's 100. So there's something else. There's something else related to paramedic.
51,976, so we're looking for,
it was whatever the costs were associated with the 2 paramedic for the schooling.
I
So it was
see
cut the
overtime. I see paramedic school tuition.
Tuition, yep.
Okay, what's that amount?
And then the book, so we want to take 15 to 2.
And then 2,000.
That's the 103.
So that brings us to 30,600.
I found it, okay. So it's it's what you just took off, the 17, and then go back up where Joe found those lines for
107,
overtime.
I think.
107?
So here we go. We want to take half of that off, which I think you did.
I did.
And then right below that, you want to take off the 18,320 for half.
So just make it 18.
Yeah, exactly. So we found fire, so. And now we need to go to highway. Salt, take 19,3. It's this line, I think.
Yeah, was 78? Is it line 78?
78.
Yep, so take off the 19,3. Yep. $19,300.
Done.
Go to insurance. And we're just going to subtract 26,301.
From the grand total?
Yes, actually, it's, you take the 22, take this away, 22, that's a 0 now, 22.
Well, I mean, to that off, right?
Yes, pardon me. And then the difference is, what was that, 22, 461?
21,558.
Can't even type right now. So then out of the Medicare FICA, the tax line, take out 5589. The number's not the same as mine, so it'll be difficulty, but. It's payroll taxes. Oh, that's not, never mind, I'm in the wrong place. It's not there.
Sorry.
Yep, so we got insurance. Go to retirement.
I was just trying to get to your original number.
Yep, there.
That's where you're
Really,
going to
like,
take.
that's what I'm trying to
Take
get.
5589 out of that line you're on right now.
Social Security.
Yeah. You just keep going. Just back out another 5589. The library. Take 5,000 under salary, just pick a place.
Remember, there's this sheet, things that were adding which you could simply.
We're gonna be changing Park and Rec and Senior Center, wherever's close to you.
Well, then we could go back and add up.
Yep.
So Park and Rec, we're gonna take 13.5 out.
Yeah, 13.5 off of the salary.
Salary?
Yeah, take it out of the line.
Director.
This is not, full-time person, program director, take 13 off that. We go to senior, in senior center, we're gonna take 10 grand off the director.
Bob, it's the most waiting we've ever done at a budget committee meeting.
In technology, we're gonna take off the cost for the website, which she has listed as 60,840. I think you know where those lines are.
Let's see, so, one-time cost, zero. Website, so it's the town website, and then I'm gonna go back to the new cost of 5,000. About 5,250.
I've lost, but yeah, that's definitely part of the equation, yeah. And then we need to pop over to town buildings. We're almost done. 3 more.
Yeah, good.
So go to projects. Right down here. So get rid of police department carpets, the 14,987.
Yeah,
Get rid of 22,000 for the training room.
yeah.
And then the 2 lines that equal 36.
18,421.
Yes,
Yes. Well, yes. Yes.
Okay, gone.
that was the AC, that was the electrical gates, right?
Yes, front
Yes.
rear, yep.
All right, and well, let's go to the budget and see what the number is. The difference between that column and the BOS should be 332,675. Oh, I missed one. $300 from conservation.
Conservation? Okay, where, what is it?
Just
300?
pick a place.
$300?
Yeah.
Yep.
So, and if you go to the main screen, the difference between, can you do a difference between recon and BudCom approved? In your spreadsheet.
Master.
Yeah, so go ahead and open it up.
It should be 332,675 if I told you everything right.
339.
BudCom, right?
No, between
Oh,
BOS
sorry, I thought you said that.
and I probably did.
This.
Yeah. 333631.
I think I had that.
Let's go back to cemetery and adjust the wages. What was that, 33,631?
33,631.
I can't type. We need to take 956, add 956 back into the one we just plugged. Oh, no, oh, you're good, enter. And then go back to the sheet and you should have 332,675 for a difference if I did that math right.
332,635.
You got 332,675. Okay, thank you, Brian. All right. Do you have? You do. Yep. Yeah. All right, Meg, we're all set.
Should be up there.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you.
So now to see the changes with those up, do we have to refresh these?
Yes.
Oh, boy.
Brian, mine updated myself, right?
You should. Did you see the dollar amount we did?
He does.
Yes, I did, but I didn't refresh.
You didn't have to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're on then, so next year you're gonna change that.
Are we going to the budget master? So if everybody refreshes their,
That's what she had on the table.
Right now it's updated.
Meg, can I add something? Because I just did some new calculations. You know, I estimated tax rates as we move through this process. With all your cuts that just got applied as a starting point, the change over, the estimated change in tax rate over this year is 1.27%. It's about $34 for the average household.
So the total now with those cuts,
Yeah, because now we have 21, we should have 21,768.
Sorry.
Oh, you have 21,870, 21,670, 872. That's not mathing out right.
right,
I take that back.
Underneath, equal the right number.
Yeah, 21,670, 872. Let me make sure. What do you got? What do you got for recon? 21,670, 872. I take that back. It's actually 0.62% change over the tax rate, assuming my revenue estimates are correct, assuming the board chooses to use another $500,000 when they set the tax rate next year. Just numbers I threw out there for illustrating purposes. So the average change on a household would be approximately $16.70 for the municipal portion of the tax rate. Of course, when we're talking about tax rates, there's other components. There's school and county that we have no control over at the town. Just wanted to throw that out there.
so what is so all those numbers have been put
They've
in
been
as-
vetted. We have the change of 332,675. I grabbed the new reconsideration number. It's not the number that I had calculated earlier, and I'm not sure why, but everything's mathing out appropriately, so
So what's the new,
the new bottom line, which is in, it's in the spreadsheet.
Yeah.
For reconsideration, is 21,670, 872. That's the number I'm looking at. Yeah, that's after cutting out the 332,675 from the board approved.
21,670,872
That is the total of the
from the board
reconsideration.
approved. That does not include insurance.
That does not include insurance.
That's where the difference is.
That's the difference.
That's why I'm like, okay.
That makes sense.
That's the, yes.
Yeah.
That's the
Thank you.
difference. Yep. Okay. All right, so with those cuts, with the motion passed for those cuts, the budget as of right now would be $21,670,000, $21,670,872. And that is not including the increase in insurance. Okay. Are there, now to get down to the $21,632,408, and we haven't considered the insurance increase yet. So are there more, what would you like to propose to, as to cuts?
Make a motion to cut line 690.01 under special projects, the BMP structure for $100,000.
It's not at 100,000. It's 30.
38?
38.
Board of Selectmen approved?
Yes.
Correction, $38,000.
Which tab do we need to be looking at?
That's Planning B, Planning
B.
Detail Sheet. It is under Specials, Special Project. In Excel, it is line 220. It is section 690.01.
I see, thank you.
Oh, yeah. Second.
Second, open for discussion, or for purposes of getting down to the number that was originally proposed?
Yep,
That's my question. That's your,
yep.
and then we would, again, with the idea of opening it for reconsideration for those?
Yes.
Okay. I need to find my calculator. That's okay. Sound effects. I'm trying to find my calculator. Yeah,
What, you want here?
thank you, that's what I want. Okay. It's 21, 670, 872. You can. Where does that leave us?
Did you? 21,670.
So if that were to go through, that'd be $21,632,872.
Chair, if I may.
Yes.
We have another one we can give to you, a project we were able to complete at the end of 2023. It's under town buildings. It is lines 136 and 137 for access control, 26,008. And that project's, we were able to get funded through the 23 budget.
Could you tell me the line again? I'm sorry.
Line 136 and 137, I believe. Police building, replace electronic access control, fire building.
Oh, those are
replace
two big
electronic.
ones. Okay.
And again, the total is 26,008.
26,008. Okay. Okay. So that would bring, with those two, just, I'm sorry, was there a motion on the floor or the other,
Yes.
for purposes of getting to reconsideration?
so,
Correct?
yes.
Okay.
But we need to add this, so, to that motion.
Do we? I thought we're just voting on that cut, and then what the
Right.
chief just mentioned is an additional.
Individual, you want individuals again now?
That's clear.
I think we should probably discuss them both separately. I'd like to hear
Yep.
Paul's opinion on
Okay.
why we should.
So there's a motion on the floor to cut from planning?
Planning,
Correct.
special projects, it was the $38,000 for the BMP.
BMP structure, PVMP, EPA mandate for
Yes, ma'am.
38,000.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
38.
We have a second? right, Bob? Did you second
Yes.
that? Okay, open for discussion.
And the reason why I propose this cut is, again, based upon the conversation, discussions we had at the time with the planning department member that proposed it, and then the follow-up emails that I'd sent that we all received back. The impression I get is, A, it is money for a project which there is no control measure. I mean, that came out clear that we're paying for it, and there's no requirement to have measurable results other than to make an attempt. So if we're going to pay money for something, it should be something that it should either succeed or not that you get credit for trying. Second thing is, the example given, I think was very hyperbolic about some town that was found $120,000. I read all online and I posed this back, that was a city in Massachusetts that was caught intentionally dumping waste into a body of water that was fined. So I just think that the premise that if we don't spend this money for something that does not matter if it even passes or fails, we're just paying something to keep someone away from us. Again, if there was a definite metric to measure success, sure. But that was clearly stated in there, and the response we got back was that it doesn't have to succeed, you just have to try. So I don't think it's a good expenditure of the taxpayers' money just to pay something for a token effort.
Just to clarify, we are talking about a mitigation at Veterans Park.
Yes.
Here, as far as drainage goes, but there are two other towns, that are probably polluting a whole lot more than us, so therefore there needs to be a whole joint pond venture going forward.
Yes.
Yeah, I was really troubled by this one as well, for the simple reason that it wasn't one of these things where if we implemented the retention pond, that was going to be acceptable to the EPA as a mitigation strategy and that we would be, in the clear. There was no guarantee that the EPA wouldn't still come back to us. And there was also, as Mr. Sherman points out, two other major towns as well around the lake. So it's a bigger problem than just us when it comes to stormwater, or I think it's the phosphorus issues coming into the Long Pond. For me to vote in favor of it, I'd like to see something from the EPA that says, yes, Town of Pelham, if you do this, we will consider you to be in compliance.
But we would be considered totally out of compliance if we do nothing somewhere.
But the way I understood this is there's no definition of compliance and no definition of non-compliance. It's totally arbitrary, nearly. Did anyone understand it differently?
Mr. Cardo?
Is there a possibility we can bring the department head up here to
I would-
explain himself?
Would the planning department head like to just touch upon this? Thank you, Jen.
Hi there, Jen Beauregard, Planning Department, Plan Director. I don't have Dina here with me tonight, so I don't have all the science behind it. I think that's a little bit of a misunderstanding, that we would be out of compliance with the EPA if we put it in. We have talked to the stormwater coordinator with DES, who has assured us that doing this type of structure does put us in compliance for that particular requirement with the EPA. So I don't really, like I said, I don't have all the stats behind me, but I do think doing nothing would put us at risk of being out of compliance. We are part of the MS4 permit, and we will always have some obligation with the EPA to stay in compliance, but there'll be different aspects of it along the way.
Ms. Sherman, you want to go first?
Any possibility, Jen, of trying to get a federal grant for involving, since we've got two states and 3 towns?
Yeah, there is some grants out there that we are going to pursue, especially dependent upon how this goes with the budget committee. We can't be certain we'll get it, but there is some some grants out there that we will be trying to get our hands on.
So, again, sorry, again, I remember this pretty vividly, like, it was, and I don't know how everyone else remembers this, but my recollection was this showed to be not compliant, it was just an attempt, nothing more, nothing less. This is an attempt to show the EPA that we're doing the right thing.
That was sort of said, but when Dina answered the email that came through, I think she did a very great job of explaining that we do have to show that it is mitigating phosphorus, and we do have to measure the amount of phosphorus coming off of this structure. Our consultant engineer explained how it works, and it does mitigate not only phosphorus, but all the other contaminants that are coming down that road into the pond. So it does have to do its job. I think Dina was kind of misstated when it was taken that we just have to show that we're doing it. We do have to show that we're doing it. We do have to show that we're trying to make an effort. But this particular type of structure is shown to have great results in doing the type of mitigation that we're required to do. And it's specifically for the phosphorus impairment that we do have in that pond. We do share it with 2 other towns. They are also required to do similar type of things. I believe Tingsboro has done something similar on one of their parks.
But we haven't applied for a grant.
We have applied for the grants that have become available to this at this point. But that one, I don't think, I don't have Dina here, so I don't really know all of the aspects of it, but I know that the Clean Water grant through DES would be able to help with this if we need to apply for that. And we intend to do that if this, either way. So even if it does get put back in the budget, we do plan to apply for that grant, and if we can get that, that would be great.
And that's to reduce the algae blooms? Is that correct?
The algae blooms it's for phosphorus, which does contribute to that. Again, I don't know the science behind it all.
Yep. She wrote a very good email back with all the information.
She did, and I thought she was very thorough in explaining herself, so.
Thank you. All right, any other questions? Yes, Mr. Smith?
I'll be quick. What do you see as any downside if we vote this out with the intention that we will revisit it in next year's budget?
Yeah, it's hard to say. I don't really know. We don't know what the EPA would do. This is kind of a newer thing, and when we asked the state, they said, you are at risk of getting fined if you don't do it. They don't know if we will or not. We can't obviously call them and ask them if they're going to fine us, because then we're going to open ourselves up. So we just have to kind of wait it out and see. We still can show that we're making our best effort, which would hopefully keep us out of harm's way.
But perhaps best effort is we have a design, we're trying to get the money, we're trying to make it happen.
And that's what we're hoping, and we're applying for grants, and we're trying to get there, so that's what we're hoping for if we can't get it done next year.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can we vote, or do I need to?
I think we can vote on that one.
Yep.
Motion is to cut that amount of $38,000 for the BPM structure out of planning.
Correct.
Okay. Oh, you guys took up my last one.
Do we need someone to run off and make some photocopies?
No, I think I used up my last one, so it's all right. Okay, so, Mr. Sherman,
Yes, for now.
Mr. Haberlin,
Yes.
Mr. Grant,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Ms. Ryan,
No.
Mr. Hebert,
Yes.
Mr. Wilkerson,
Yes.
Mr. Croto,
No.
and myself, no. 6 to 3, motion passes to cut the $38,000 from planning for the BPM structure. And the next, and then
Meg, might I volunteer something? I can think
Yes.
of one other thing that we don't need in the budget because the board approved an encumbrance for it. It's a very small item,
Yeah.
but it's $3,050 to the selectmen's for the actuary expense. We had some unspent appropriations because we had a vacancy in the selectmen's office for almost 4 months, and we used some of that in a contract to encumber. So that's $3,050 on line 204. That's the only other thing I can think of that we used year-end money for.
So move.
Second.
Second, third.
Okay. And also with the, all those in favor of accepting that cut? Do I have to do it? All those in favor of accepting that cut, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No, no abstains. 900, accept the $3,050 out of the budget. And also, you said there was $26,008 taken out from, with the, doing the,
access control for the fire department and the police department,
yep,
and it's line 136 and 137 town
Okay.
buildings.
and motion to accept,
So move.
second?
Second.
All those in favor of accepting the cut of $26,008 from the town buildings, lines 136 and 137, because they were already purchased, correct?
Aye.
Say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No. Accept that. 900. So that brings us to all right, that's a total of $67,058 in those. Tammy, do you have a final number on, with those changes?
21,603,814 is the bottom line right now.
21,603,
814.
814. Okay. All right. And the, I'm just going to jump a little here. The ask for the addition of the insurance, that was going to be asked for at reconsideration, how much?
That was 97, stand by, 97,789.
97,789?
Mhm.
Okay.
Want me to do that?
We gotta get there.
Go to, it's across all the lines. It's whatever, it was the default. Excuse me, Meg.
Yes, go
Joe and I
ahead.
were just discussing. So that insurance line does contain 50,000 contingency, you know, because insurance changes throughout the year. Someone has a baby, somebody leaves, someone comes on. It's pretty tight. We could, you know, live with if you want to reduce that 97,789 by 25,000, and instead, just because we're trying to get to that number, instead ask for 72,789.
72,
789.
79?
So move.
Second.
So you just take another 24 now if it passes.
So then, the motion would be to accept the insurance increase. Well, it's not in the budget yet. That's, right? It's not in the budget yet?
It's not, because we copied over the
Right.
board column,
Right.
and the board wasn't aware of that change that we asked for on the 16th. It was in the default column at the time, before that number was used for the proposed budget on the 16th. It was never, that 97,789 was never in the board column, because we didn't know about it back then.
Right.
So,
Can, I know there's,
so
there's a motion, but do you mind taking that motion? Could we take
Take
that
it back,
motion off the floor?
as long as second goes along.
Second, do you agree with that for the moment?
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, so as of right now, the bottom line is $21,603,814. Is that what?
I have 21,678,72. Oh, no. Pardon me. You're right, yes.
603. Okay, so here we go. Oops. 279 is 21. And the original, I'm seeing what the difference is with the original.
That's all I can think of. So, if they do that, oops. Right, we'll just use the 25 contingency and hope for vacancies.
So at this,
Usually works out.
all right, at this point, we're at $21,603,814 without considering the insurance increase. So,
I'm looking at,
yep,
yeah, I'm looking at cell L38, 21,603,814.
yeah, L38.
Yep.
So then with the insurance, if we were, just to make this clear, with the insurance proposal of $72,079. Tammy, sorry, the insurance.
72879.
72879 or 7279?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Sorry about that.
72,789 is what we're asking for.
Is it 879? I keep,
Just,
Tammy, 72079 or 72879?
72, I have 72,789.
789, thank you. I didn't change, yeah, exactly.
Yes, because we were asking for 97,789, but we can give up some contingency and just hope that vacancies will cover that if something's come up.
So just to,
Essentially is copy over the BOS and then take 25 grand out of the insurance.
So copy over the default.
I'm sorry. Copy of the BOS and then take 25 out of it.
Okay, thank you. That's what I did.
I don't see the 25 out of it yet.
No, that
okay.
The
So go ahead, Bob. So if,
The default number that we were trying to get down to, wasn't that
it was
21,632?
Yep.
Isn't that the?
408, yep.
408, right.
Yep. That was the number,
That was the number, right.
but that didn't have the insurance.
I
Okay.
know it didn't have it, but
Yep.
the number on record is 21,632,408,
Okay.
okay?
So as of right now, we're at 21 million,
603,814.
yep,
So we are below that number,
yep. Okay.
okay?
And so now, if we're good, with the proposal of reconsideration for the insurance increase of $72,789 would bring the budget to, I just had it, 21.
$21,603,814.
Yeah, so that's the current one. 21,603,814. And with the current reconsideration of $72,789 would bring the budget to $21,676,603.
I get the same number.
You do. Okay. Do you want a motion to?
No, we need a motion to what, add the insurance.
Yep.
All right, so move of whatever what's the insurance number?
I move to add the figure $72,789 to the insurance category.
Second? Any discussion? Hearing none. Okay, motion is to increase, for the reconsideration, to increase by $72,789, which would bring the current budget to $21,676,603. So this is on the insurance number, sorry, of $72,789. Mr. Sherman, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Haberlin?
Yes.
Mr. Grant?
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Ryan?
Yes.
Mr. Abear?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkerson?
Yes.
Mr. Proto?
Yes.
And I am a yes. 900, that the insurance increase is added to the budget at reconsideration.
I have one increase I want to add as well. A very modest increase. I think it's gonna, I think it returns money to the town. I think a lot of people would agree with me. I want to talk about the selectmen's stipend. Do I have a second for that?
Second for discussion.
Okay. Open for discussion?
This is the way I look at this thing. $1,200. Oh, I'm not supposed to touch this, okay. So, it's $1,200 for each of the selectmen, there's 5 selectmen, right?
The chair gets a little bit more.
Yeah, okay, well,
I believe it's 1,200 per selectman, and the chair gets 1,500.
okay, well, I think a lot of these people that are the selectmen give up their time for the town, and I think a lot of people that care to be on the selectmen and care enough to, give up their time to talk about all these issues that go on a yearly basis. I think you want the right players on the team. So I think we should add that back into the budget, because I think it's going to pay itself off in the long term, because for a very modest $5,000, you're getting people who care and want to do the right thing. So that's my motion.
To add in, the motion's to add in 6,000 to the selectmen's budget?
Whatever it was before, yeah.
All right, let's file.
Line 33, selectmen stipends.
Meg, I think we're $2,000 lower than your last calculation. I just want to point that out, but I think we've applied those insurance changes correctly.
Okay.
We have, what is that number, Ryan?
I have to refresh my, my Excel here.
It's
21,675, 698.
Okay.
the amount's 6,300 Meg total.
Yes, sir.
Okay, the motion on the floor is to increase the budget amount in Selectmen's budget for Selectmen stipends for 6,300. Okay.
And just to beat a dead horse. I mean, I don't know how many hours the selectmen put in on a yearly basis, but it's all year round. It's not, 3 months out of the year for an hour every, or 3 hours every Thursday for, it's a lot of time.
All right, I will take a roll call vote on that. Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Mr. Haberlin?
Yes.
Mr. Grant?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Ryan?
Yes.
Mr. Abear?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkerson?
Yes.
Mr. Proto?
Yes.
Myself, yes. 900 to add the selectmen stipends back into the budget. And Tammy, if I could just get that updated number from you.
It's 21,681,997.
Let's make sure that updated.
$21,681,997.
Okay, mine didn't update.